get you the tail of the tape for Israel Adesanya and Marvin Vettori. Adesanya fights out of New Zealand. He was born in Nigeria. The Italian Vettori now calls Southern California home. Vettori 24, Adesanya 28. He is 4 inches taller. The last style bender will have a 6-inch reach advantage. All right, now for the introductions, we turn it over to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 12 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 186 pounds. Fighting out of Mezzo-Corona, Italy, Marvin, the Italian Dream, Vettori. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a freestyle fighter holding an undefeated professional record, 12 wins, no losses. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 184 pounds. Fighting out of Auckland, New Zealand, Israel, the last style bender, Adesanya. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Herb Dean.
Herb Dean, our referee for this one. Vanessa Hansen, thank you. Ready to go with the middleweights. Israel Adesanya taking on Marvin Vettori. Adesanya in black. Vettori out of the southpaw stances in green. Heavy leg kick lands early for the Italian.
Watch the right high kick of Adesanya. That's what he's going to be looking to throw. He'll start inside, then go to the body, and then go high.
You know, when you look at Adesanya, you see the length, you see the striking. We invited him into my training camp for the Jones fights. We recognized him as a really talented, diverse guy that could really help our game in preparation. He doesn't like the comparisons. He said that he's the first Israel Adesanya. He's not the next anyone else. Tonight, on national television, he has an opportunity to truly separate himself from the comparisons. He feels it's a bit disrespectful to say he's the next somebody. It's disrespectful to these guys and what they've accomplished.
Right now, Adesanya's making reads. He's getting the speed. He's getting the timing of Vettori. He's taking his time. He's letting Vettori miss so he can feel what he's using, feel his offense, get his punch count, get his punch speed. And then once he feels that out in the first 2 minutes, you'll start seeing Adesanya pick up his offense.
Look at the size of Vettori. Notice that he didn't rush a takedown. He said Adesanya's last opponent was so nervous about standing with him that he rushed takedowns, which allowed Israel to get back to his feet. Said he doesn't mind standing with him. He'll take his time, and when the takedown presents itself, he'll take it. He's trying to get this inside trip over and over again. The reason it's not working is because he's not draping his body over to the overhook side. You've got to drape your body if you're trying to inside trip someone.
Adesanya stuffed 12 of Rob Wilkinson's 15 takedown attempts in his UFC debut. Vettori 0 for 2 out of the chute here tonight.
It's very hard to get a hand on Adesanya, and that's what's going to frustrate Vettori early, is he's not able to just touch him. If you can't touch him, it's hard to find when to throw and what to commit to. And that's what Adesanya is doing well right now. He's faking, he's switching stances, giving a bunch of different looks, using his hands, inside kick to take away the power of Vettori. It's getting Vettori guessing and not knowing when to throw and when to hold back.
You don't want to be forced into a kickboxing fight with Israel Adesanya. He's too sharp and accurate. He has too many tools and that fast of a fight.
Adesanya will continue to switch stances on you. He says when you're not a confident striker, you force the finish, and he certainly did not force it against Wilkinson. Heavy kick from Vettori. Vettori unintimidated coming in here. That probably undersells how confident he was on Thursday, champ.
Yes, John. He was very confident that he has the style to beat Adesanya.
The problem is Vettori's not faking at all. He's staring Adesanya right in the face, like in the mirror, just looking at him. You've got to fake Adesanya, because right now Adesanya is the only one faking, switching stance, feinting, and that's really setting Vettori off. Vettori needs to do the same to Adesanya.
And Adesanya's drawing out big reactions from him on those feints. They aren't small reactions. Look at that. He's drawing big reactions every time he feints.
And that's the difference. One person's using feints and the other one isn't.
Yeah.
Nice combo by Vettori to finish with the kick. That's where he'll have the most success. Boxing combinations, finish your combinations with a kick, because Vettori moves his trunk, but he doesn't move his legs too much after you throw punch combinations.
Vettori lived in London when he was 18 to 20, trained with the London Shoot Fighters, eventually aligned with King's MMA under Rafael Cordero in California.
Good body shot. Caught that kick and threw a nasty liver shot to
Oh,
Vettori.
big body shot.
Pausing the action due to an inadvertent eye poke.
Poke in the eye. Those are not fun. Everybody's booing, but you really can't see if you get poked.
Until you get poked.
Sucks.
Until you get poked, you
It
shouldn't
hurts so
boo.
bad.
Like, I really am, I would like to walk around just straight Three Stooges dudes. Poking them right in the face.
Shows no mercy. Just poke him in the eye, huh?
Yeah, just poke him in the eye. I mean, you can't boo somebody for saying, oh, I got poked in the eye when they got poked in the eye.
That's why it's illegal, right?
It's illegal. Otherwise, we'd be running around just poking each other. We'd all be standing there with our hands open.
You have to keep them up. Are you ready to fight, or do I need to bring the doctor? No, it's good. Yeah? Okay.
We remind you the new rules are in effect here tonight. Those fingers have to be pointing to the sky. If that hand is open, stern warning to Adesanya from the referee, Herb Dean.
Ooh, good body shot.
Another
nice
one.
Body kick by Vettori.
Adesanya able to eat it and fire off a left hand of his own. But Vettori's had some moments with his kicking game early.
Vettori really is not rushing the takedown. He seems to be comfortable in the stand-up. He just can't overextend himself. Look at how Israel just slides out of the way of his attacks. Throws a leg kick, he barely kind of slides back. Look at that. Tries to attack the head, dips the head back. He's trying to set up his counters.
Adesanya's defense is what makes his offense so effective. Ooh, that hurt. Shin to shin.
Yes, shin to shin.
Those are very painful, and you never know who's going to hurt worse than those ones. It looks like that one hurt Vettori's shin a little.
Oh. This is what Vettori can't do, though. He can't start watching. Like you said, Dom, he can't look in the mirror.
Well, he can't hit him.
No, he can't just watch. He cannot just watch Adesanya. He's got to just go fight.
Yep.
Oh, flurry at the end of round one.
You want this first, don't you?
Toast. Hey, honey.
Jab's landing as well, so I gotta get some jab.
He's biting off the fangs, but yeah, when you throw your right hand, move offline, yeah?
Offline, yes.
Yeah, so just throw any right hand offline, even a left hook, throw it slightly offline, yeah?
Offline, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I heard it, the elbows.
So you're way more comfortable now, so use
the elbow.
Yeah. Watch out for the flailing shot.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're way more comfortable now. You can start to like read his fangs a little bit more and start to put a little bit more on.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Still cook him in the first, fry him in the second.
UFC President Dana White in the building here tonight, looking on as Israel Adesanya makes his second UFC appearance against Marvin Vettori. Fifth UFC start for Vettori. Here we go with round two. DC, pretty cool to observe that dynamic. Adesanya and his chief corner between rounds. A lot of feedback, a lot of nice back and forth there.
Yeah, they're very happy. They're very happy about the feints. They feel like Vettori's biting on the feints. They're telling Israel to take his head off the line when he throws his right hand. Israel said, you know, we kind of started to cook him in the first round. We fry him in the second. So look for him to pick up the pace in round number two.
Vettori had a sick double leg. He was in deep on that one, and you saw Adesanya just pull the hit, pull it right over it, right up past his butt, like a pair of pants, and then just slide him right up, and it took away the attempt from Vettori.
Well, as Adesanya says, most everyone in this division is going to be trying to take him down. So far, Vettori not realizing any success on 3 attempts.
And he had a really nice level change there.
Yeah.
If he had a little bit higher level wrestling, on that inside trip, you try inside trip, then you come back with a foot sweep. You got to mix up these takedowns on guys like this. Most people can defend the initial takedown. You got to give them levels to the wrestling game.
1-2 lands right down the middle for Adesanya. And Vettori is starting to get confused. Now, you see it in his face. He's like, okay, I can't really hit him. He's faking me too much, so I can't really throw when I want to. So what do I commit to, and when do I back up, and when do I go forward? That's what's happening. Nice left hand lands, and that's the third one he's landed, so keep an eye out for that left, but he's not loading. He's just touching him with it.
He's taking too many of those inside low kicks, man. That leg is getting beat up.
And the footwork is just apparent. That's a big difference. Footwork is huge.
Adesanya beautifully slips the offering from Vettori and lands a flush right.
I mean, Vettori has a good chin. He has a good chin. He's taking some big shots from Adesanya. He's still in the fight. But him backing up and watching is not going to be to his benefit. Adesanya has to be careful doing that, though. Leading back when the head kick's coming.
What needs to happen is Vettori needs to make the adjustment, quit going to the head and start going to the ribs of Adesanya. When he leans, he'll eat the kick to the ribs.
Nice stick to the body by Adesanya. Less than 3 minutes now here in round 2.
And it's all right on the calf where he's kicking. He's not kicking to the inside of the quad.
It takes one, though. One real hard check from Vettori, and he'll stop throwing that kick because he's throwing it so low.
Good right hand.
Beautiful counter lands for Adesanya. Starting to find his range here. He says this second round's his wheelhouse. Likes to feel it out a little bit early.
Yeah, he had to feel the speed. Now he knows the speed, and he knows how Vettori's defending his offense. So now you're seeing him sit down and commit to his punches a little bit more.
He's got some respect, too. If Vettori didn't respect him before the fight, he respects him now.
That was elbow. Yep, that was legal, and he thought it was illegal.
He only said that because he was hurt.
Yep.
He said it because he was hurt.
Now Adesanya's starting to showboat a little bit.
Vettori needs to get forward pressure and just attack.
He's got to just fight.
Yeah, he does. He's got to be the
bully.
The bully, like you're saying.
You got to be a yard dog. You got to bite down on that mouthpiece and just go forward.
Because if he's staying at distance like this, what's happening? He's getting picked apart.
Yeah, he's losing. He's losing right now because he's standing at bay, trying to fight technique for technique with Israel Adesanya. He's out of this pressure.
You got to make it ugly for Adesanya. You can't try to go skill for skill unless you're faking at least. Give him a different look. But only one person's faking.
Really amazing, the understanding of distance and the ability to control range for Adesanya.
It's all those kickboxing matches he's got. I mean, that's over 50 fights that you have kickboxing. You get your range, you get the understanding of what's coming.
And right now, he's fighting in a kickboxing fight with 4-ounce gloves in the octagon.
Yep.
Because he hasn't been taken down. He hasn't been forced. Rob Wilkinson actually forced him to wrestle more than Marvin Vettori has to this point.
At least he made an adjustment, went to the body on the kick on that one. Now the lean didn't work, but he didn't follow it up either.
Adesanya also, as he lands the spinning attack there, at least partially draws high praise for his cardio. So if we do hit that third and final round, prevailing wisdom is that Adesanya would have that as an advantage.
Well, he's just, nobody's really made him uncomfortable yet. He's comfortable the whole time. You won't see Adesanya get tired until somebody makes him fight a different style fight. But he's completely comfortable because this is the way he wants to fight. So he can do this all day.
The numbers tell you Vettori has stayed busy, but defensively, Adesanya brings a lot to the table as well. Vettori with a quick check on the clock. All right, third and final round coming up.
With intelligence, we have to win this round because the fight is really close. It's a really close fight. We never know. Don't let the judge's hands. Put more pressure, look for takedowns. As soon as you don't have takedown, you have to do something after. I don't have nothing here. As soon as you move away, throw your elbow, throw your knee, but do something right after your fight.
Marvin, that takedown, your head, your shoulder pressure needs to be lower for the double leg. If you're high, he underhooks you, okay? So double leg, shoulder in the stomach.
Good. You don't have everything good. Brother. But just in case, you have to put more pressure on it. Okay, now we're gonna go. We have to go. But at the same time, chin down and focus. Start everything.
Okay? Marvin, look at it as 1-1. You gotta pressure him now.
This is a result of Adesanya's feints adding up. He fakes and then comes over the top when the guard drops with an elbow. Beautiful timing by Adesanya. And he set that up, talked about it in between the first and second round and said, I'm going to land this in the second, and there it was.
All right, third and final round here, and we got all hands on deck tonight. Let's bring in former UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping and the UFC welterweight champ Tyron Woodley. T. Wood, we'll start with you as Vettori backs up Adesanya there. Your thoughts on what we've seen thus far?
Well, Vettori did a great job backing up in the first round. What he did was he stayed one-dimensional. As we saw Israel use fakes, head motion, footwork, he really frustrated and actually froze him when he was a still target. He used a lot of inside kicks. Those inside kicks set up a lot of straight right hands, and then he got to the point where he was picking his shots, and that's not a place you want to be in. Right now, you see Vettori, he's got to go in kill mode. He could be down 2 rounds. Now he's going desperate for the takedown. Earlier, he was going for the shot. He never locked his hands on the defense and was defending quite well.
Well, I think, Tyron, Vettori is definitely down 2 rounds, and he needed this takedown. He did a good job. He fought with a sense of urgency. The third round started, and he went forward with a lot of aggression. He's got the takedown. Now it's going to be interesting because we finally see Adesanya on the back. We know about the kickboxing, but what can he do? Vettori's past the half guard. I see him maybe pass it to Mount in a minute, and it could be disastrous for Adesanya. Let's see the ground game. Let's see what he's got, because I'll be honest, so far, it looks like he doesn't have much. He's pushing on the fence. We're not seeing a full guard. We're not seeing a re-guard. We're not seeing him attempting to get back to the feet. He looks like a duck out of water right now. Of course, Vettori is just keeping the downward pressure. Vettori also so hard to get the takedown.
He needs to go hard
to keep the takedown. Chest to chest. He doesn't want to give him space to get back up. But Vettori has to work. He has to throw some elbows.
All right, Tyron Woodley, Michael Bisping, thank you very much.
Vettori's not advancing his positions enough. Herb Dean's going to take this from him here in a second. He worked that hard to get that takedown that he's going to lose it by not being active enough. He should be letting everything go. He's the more versed guy on the ground. He's the grappler. He needs to be advancing position. It's too difficult to secure the takedown. Look at that. Now he's back up.
So Adesanya worked hard to get back to the canvas here.
That was a lateral drop attempt.
That was a 54 and 0.
Oh,
that was a 54 and 7 kickboxer doing a lateral drop.
Oh my goodness.
Vettori's
it was a good thought.
It was a good thought.
It was a good thought. It was the timing was there, just the technique was a little off on that.
I love that he's so confident that he would try that.
Agreed.
We'll see how much Vettori has.
It didn't do anything. It didn't cost him anything on this one.
On
Vettori didn't take advantage of that the way he should have. Could have held him on his back a little longer on that one, but nice dump there. And we're seeing a hole in Adesanya's game here. This is honesty. In the grappling, this is not a movement here. He needs to get his guard back. He needs to put his feet on the hips. He needs to get inside underhooks. He needs to use a lot of different techniques here than what he's doing. He's flat on his back. His feet are on the floor. He's missed. This is a hole we're seeing that, but he might. Adesanya, I think, is going to win this match if Vettori doesn't get a submission or do some serious damage. But we are seeing that Adesanya has a hold of fix on the ground. You can take him down and you can keep him there if you have the right fundamentals.
Under 2 minutes now to go. Adesanya once again back to his feet. Herb Dean calling for more activity here. He's going to break these fighters up.
I mean, John, you got to think this should have been the approach of Vettori from round 1.
Right.
Getting close, wearing on him, taking. I mean, I don't quite agree with the stoppage already, right? They just got back to their feet. Let him work in there. He may go for another takedown. He's gotten 2 this round.
And I think at some point, excuse me, Dom, we need to laud the cardio of Marvin Vettori as well, because at times it has plagued him in the UFC. He has trained hard. He's ready to go 3 hard 5s tonight.
Well, Vettori showed a lot of stuff on Adesanya we hadn't seen. He brought a fight to Adesanya that we hadn't seen compared to the last fight. So it's good. Vettori's fighting well. He's just not. He's a little outmatched in the technique here. A lot outmatched in the technique and the striking. But when he adds the grappling, he's okay. But he only has done that for 1 round, so he's losing a battle right now.
Well, he's actually landing because he listened to Coach Cardero. They said more pressure, go forward. And because he's going forward, he's actually landing shots in the striking.
And at least in terms of the significant strikes landed, the unofficial numbers very close. Adesanya 47, Vettori 43 and counting.
Yeah, and it's a good match. I mean, it's equal. This is a real test for Adesanya. It's not as easy as he thought it was going to be. Vettori came out and put a great fight, and it's been fun to watch. And we saw a lot of different stuff from Adesanya that people can use in this division to study him.
So for the first time in Israel Adesanya's 13-fight pro mixed martial arts career, he will need to rely on the judges to get his hand raised tonight. Our move of the fight is sponsored by Metro PCS, bringing you closer than ever to the UFC, putting knockout coverage in your hands by covering 99% of people in the U.S.
That inside leg kick really did take an effect on Marvin Vettori. He did it over and over again. I think it compromised his movement. Then look at the uppercut of Adesanya right there, shifting out of position. Then from feigning over and over again, he landed an elbow over the top, and he hurt Vettori. Vettori motioned to the ref because he was hurt, saying that he got poked in the eye. Great fight.
All right, Marvin Vettori was game. Was it enough? The official decision coming up next. We are in Glendale, Arizona for Fox UFC Fight Night. Poirier versus Gaethje. First trip to the Phoenix area since last January when Yair Rodriguez and BJ Penn headlined. A lot of mixed martial arts gyms and fan support here in the desert. All right, the official decision is now in. It resides with Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Derek Cleary scores the contest 29-28 Adesanya. Chris Lee scores it 29-28 Vettori. And Chris Hayes scores the contest 29-28 for the winner by split decision, Israel, the last style bender, Adesanya. And still undefeated, the last style bender, Israel Adesanya. Congratulations, 2 wins already in the UFC this year. You seem a little bit disappointed. Your thoughts on the fight?
Yeah, definitely. Hats off to him, like his marble head all held up, like you said. But yeah, I don't know. He had better head movement than I anticipated. But yeah, you know, a win's a win, but I'm not happy with it.
Well, 13 up, 13 down for you. As I mentioned, February, now April. What does the rest of 2018 look like for you?
I want to stay active, so Dana, I know you're around. I want to fight again ASAP. I mean, last time I came in here, I said I'm the new dog, and I pissed all over his cage. Next time, I shit on your grave.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the last style bender, Israel Adesanya.
And Adesanya comes out here and puts on a show, gets his win. But we did learn a lot about him. We learned that, you know, he doesn't knock everybody out, but he also has very good takedown defense. And no matter what you do with him, you are going to have your hands full taking this dude down and standing with him. And he is very powerful.
Well, they can't all be finishes, but Israel Adesanya